Miss V, I am so happy to see you again. It's been
Hi.
so long. I miss you.
I know I miss you too. It's been forever, but your boy, he's always with me. He's like right here.
Oh, Erik, give her a little personal space. Hi, Erik. I love you.
Hey, hi, Mama. He's
Hey, baby.
become like an appendage. He's part of me.
Uh-oh, might have to surgically remove you. It's annoying. All right, so I guess let's go ahead and bring in who I always loved, Donna Summer. I used to call her Donna Summers. I did not know, but she I was watching her. I don't know if it was a HBO special, but I think it was one of her last ones, and she was older, but oh my God, it was just nothing. What came out of her mouth seemed like effortless, just velvet. Such a powerful voice. Anyway, do you think you can bring in Donna for us?
So Erik says, I have to tell you, first of all, when I connected with Erik and I said, this is what we're doing, dude is totally dressed in 70s clothes.
Uh-oh.
I'm not even kidding you. He's got
the disco ball over him.
Yeah. The big bell bottoms on, and so he's like totally ready for this. His energy is all jazzed up. So
awesome.
So we're actually, I'll tell you what I see. They're sitting on a long white couch.
Okay.
It's just pure white, and they're just hanging out. He's got his 70s jazzy or disco-y stuff on, and she's in a beautiful silver body-hugging glittery dress.
Oh, beautiful. Hello, Miss Summer. How are you?
She says, hello, how are you? I'm fabulous. And she's got this, the way I hear her voice, it's like, you said velvet, but it's like, even when she talks, it's like gold. It's like smooth.
Wow, I bet. Disco was really big in my day. We always went out when I was in college to the disco places and danced. Of course, that was terrible, but who cares? I had fun. And I just loved her songs, especially MacArthur Park. I mean, so many of them are so awesome. They're just evergreen. So is it okay if I ask you some questions, Miss Summer?
She says, absolutely.
Okay, well, why don't we start out with telling me about your mother? No, tell me about your childhood. How was that?
She said there's nothing sensational about it other than the fact that it was kind of normal. She says she grew up in a very loving, very generous environment.
Oh, good.
She's saying that there were examples of how to be a good person everywhere around her. And she said, she's saying to me that it was her mission not to corrupt what she learned. She says she's also being very honest and saying, of course I veered off the path a little bit, but she had a very solid foundation with her family. Yes, and her mother was also a great role model and example for her in how a woman should carry herself.
Oh, that's so awesome. So you had a great childhood. So what made you break into the business, into singing? You probably started at a young age, I imagine, but I don't know. I didn't look up your biography. I just listened to your songs.
She says that she was always the entertainer, even for family gatherings, she said, and even with groups of friends. She was always the person, acting out the song or acting out. She's saying she was very animated. Okay. She couldn't, I'm laughing because she says, I couldn't just tell a story. I had to become the story.
Oh, and probably sing the story too, maybe.
Yes.
So did you start out with gospel, in the church choir or just, non-religious?
She said, no, she got her start in church. And she said that felt very safe and very welcoming. But she says she's not somebody that ever really struggled with being confident.
Oh, did not struggle. Oh, good. Yeah, it comes out with your songs, but yeah, and then what was your big break? What got you into the spotlight, so to speak?
She says, while I sang for my meals, she's making funny. She said, my heart also was in acting. And it was actually in acting that I became known as a singer. She said, so she's showing me that she's got this, she's very animated in her presentation. Not overly like energized, but she, you know, I would expect that she would be sitting here like this, but she's very like dynamic in the conversation.
Oh, good.
And she's saying that acting was the first professional gig she had, and then it involved singing.
Oh, good. And then you were picked up by a scout, maybe? Or
she said she did plays, and there were people that she just met people. She actually went, she's showing me across the ocean. So she went across the ocean, she said, and she did some work there.
Okay.
And she's saying that she now believes that it's hard work, but it wasn't hard work for her because it was a natural singing voice that she had. But it's hard work in the sense that you have to just keep going forward. People will say things about you, and that was the hardest part of this work, you know, because there's always a critic.
Of course. Do we know, Veronica? We know, right?
We know.
Everybody's a critic. So did you, being African American, ever stand in your way or in other people's minds?
She said she was always mindful of her heritage and where she came from, but she said it was never, she never viewed it as a hindrance, if you will, or never viewed it as somebody trying to hold her back because of it. She's saying what she struggled more with was being a woman.
Wow, really? So did the music execs, people in the industry, give you a hard time because of that?
She said that back in the day when she was coming up, she was a very strong, powerful, confident woman, which could be perceived as a bitch.
Oh, yeah.
She said people came at her as trying to break her or trying to make her, to tame her, she's saying. And she also says that she knew prejudice from that perspective, being a woman in a man's industry.
Oh, that's terrible. And, you know, I'm sure that they thought, well, she's a woman. We can like trick her into this things of the contract and that. We can take advantage of her. So there's probably some of that, but hopefully you're a good businesswoman.
Yeah, she's also saying that not only could she sing and act, not only was she creative, as we would call it, right-brained, she said she was very intelligent, and that she also, she would say that she wasn't necessarily street smart, but she had to develop that as she stayed in the industry a little bit longer and a little bit longer.
I can imagine. So what percentage of your songs did you write, or at least co-write?
She says, I had my hand in every one of them on some level. I was a creative force. She said, but I would have to say about 40%.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's great.
But now, she's adamant to say that she always set herself up so that she had final say. She was smart and ahead of her time in that way, she said. She's also quick to say that a lot of musicians and singers gave away their rights early on.
Yeah, look what's going on with Taylor Swift, apparently. I don't know the details, but whatever. So what was your favorite song?
She's swaying, and you know what? She's just beautiful. Like I can just see her full lips and her big.
Really beautiful.
Hair. You know, she's saying, "Love to love you, baby."
Love to love you, baby.
She's saying there's not a lot of depth to those words. She said, but when that song came on, it was like she said it was baby making music.
Like what do you call it? James Brown or whatever.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Barry White. Yeah.
Oh, was that one? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I get it mixed up. What is your favorite song, Veronica, of hers?
Oh, I love, MacArthur Park.
That's my favorite. What did it mean? What was it?
She says it doesn't make any sense. She's laughing. She said they're just words that work together. It was a vibe she had. She said it doesn't, there's a story behind it, but you know what? The words just came together and she made it and it became huge.
Yeah, but what was at least some of the story behind it?
Mm-hmm. Well, she says it had to do with, being in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong person.
Oh, wow.
There was a lot of pain and grief.
Based in her own experiences in life?
She said where she was in her personal life.
Yeah.
She's saying that it was one of the most cutting edge songs she'd ever done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, and she's saying that she also wants everybody to know that even before people would see her singing these songs, as she sang these songs, she acted them out. They were like little mini plays to her.
Oh, it makes sense.
And she said as she was recording them, in her mind's eye, she was just acting out these songs.
Wow. Okay, so tell me about some of the pain, or maybe the most painful experience that sort of inspired you to write certain songs, like MacArthur Park.
Mm-hmm. She said, well, it's almost always love-based. It's almost always romantic in nature. She said she's had her share of hurt. But she says that she wasn't somebody who randomly chose people to be with in her life. She was very selective with the people in her life. And when she chose to marry, it was because of love. But she's also very quick to say that she wasn't somebody that initially, even though she had it modeled for her, that she thought love would last forever with one person. And that inspired a lot of songs. She's also quick to say that a lot of songs in the 70s, in the disco time, she says, were really all about, forlorn love and missed love and, just very sensual in nature.
Oh, yeah, of course. So, can you describe in specifics the most painful experience of your life? What was your biggest loss, for example? If you don't want to, that's fine. Only if people can learn from it. If viewers can learn from it. We're not here to be voyeurs,
Yeah. She's going like this. Like there's two. She's telling me that this is a personal note. She lost a child.
Oh.
So she said that was something that she didn't use to inspire her music, but she would be remiss if she didn't tell you that that was her biggest loss.
Oh, yeah.
That she lost a child.
I understand.
She's also, it was sad when my first marriage ended. That was sad.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But it was time. It had run its course.
Maybe you had a contract and it was honored and trying to move on?
She's saying that she that at first it was not something that was amicable, but as time went on, because of the children, we made a friendship.
Oh, so what was the contract with this, your first husband?
She's actually saying that she helped him mature. She was the balance for him. He was scattered and all over the place. I have to just tell you that she has such a calming.
Oh, she's so poised. I don't know. There's something about her poise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's the epitome of grace and elegance, and just, she's lovely. And I could see how she would balance out, because she's saying the first husband was kind of all over the place, kind of scattered. And she was the balance to that.
Oh, that's good.
I also think she's saying he had something to do with helping her push herself and develop herself. So it was a win-win.
Oh, that's good. So who is the love of your life?
Well, that would be my children, she says, my daughters. She said she can't really say she has one love of her life.
No, of course, your children.
She also wants to talk about her religious beliefs.
Oh, yes, please.
She said that she was raised very traditional religion. I believe I hear her saying Baptist or Baptist,
yeah.
I think was she saying. And she got away from that for a while. And towards the end of her life, the last several years of her life, she became what you would know as born again.
Okay.
She revisited the traditional cornerstone of religion. Now, she's saying that the reason she did that is it gave her a sense of comfort and a sense of peace at a time that was very chaotic in her life. She had been dragged through the mud in the press. The comments, I think she's saying that she made, I hear derogatory remarks that she was charged with saying. Anyways, she's showing me that people wrote things that weren't true about her. And she got very despondent and very depressed.
Now you went into, I can't remember, drugs or alcohol, but substance abuse was a problem. Was that why?
She said that eventually it became more than she could handle, as strong as she was. And it started out, she says, with alcohol.
Okay. Yeah. And
then it became, you know, classic, I needed more, I needed more, I needed more. She's also saying that she suffered with depression.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see where, after the birth of her fourth child, in hindsight, she looked back and she got depressed after each birth.
So maybe postpartum depression.
But she said that wasn't something that you looked at back then. You were expected, especially when you're Donna Summer, you were expected to get up, shake it off, and go back into the world and be that face. She said the other thing that was, you know, she knows now that this was a lesson, but she always felt like she was critiqued. And that she
you probably were.
For everything. And she's also saying that even then, what came out of your mouth wasn't really what was reported on, wasn't really what was said. She learned very early on in her career to count on the fact that no matter what she said, it probably was going to be distorted on some level.
Is that true? Is that mostly, do you think that was mostly the case with you, or did all or most women singers, or most African American singers, or singers of color, did they go through that, or were you particularly targeted?
She says that it's anybody that was in the public eye, and she's also speaking to the fact that sensationalism. It can't just be a simple, this is why it was. She said everything was sensationalized, and the height of the 70s, she's saying, was all about drugs and dancing and partying. She's saying we had just come off an era of open sex and having these relationships, and she's saying it just was she's saying it was a very strange time for her.
Exactly. So how old was your baby when he or she died? A miscarriage, stillbirth?
Yeah, she's saying, I'm hearing in utero.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Well, are you with that baby now, right?
Yes, everybody reunites.
Oh,
and
that's
nice.
The
interesting thing, and Erik has been a voice for this, she says, the soul continues to grow.
Oh, yeah.
So the soul just keeps on keeping on. Even someone like me, my soul, she says, I keep learning. I keep moving through the levels, she said.
That's good. Mm-hmm. So what got you out of the whole substance abuse thing? Was it religion? Was that instrumental in?
She says, I found God.
Oh, good. How did that happen? Can you tell us more?
In the bottom of a bourbon bottle, she says.
Oh.
Okay. She said that she had hit rock bottom. She's saying that she actually, what I'm hearing her say is she came very close to dying. She had mixed. Oh. She's referencing Whitney Houston. I came very close. And
using medicines and alcohol.
Mm-hmm. And she's saying that I wasn't the kind of person that was reckless and haphazard. And she's saying, I'm not implying that Ms. Houston was that either. She's saying, but you get to a place where you feel like you're circling and you just can't hold on to anything. And she said, I felt like that. And it was just one too many. Yeah. And she said she had an out-of-body experience, but you don't talk about that stuff.
Yeah. So tell me about that. Did you leave your body and they told you, hey, you need to stay and do some work, or what happened during that?
She says on a physical level, she coded what you would call a code.
Yeah.
And she's saying that it was optional. It was totally optional whether she returned or whether she stayed where she was. And it's very clear that she knew that she needed to come back because going out that way was not her style.
Oh God, I bet not, man. So was there anybody instrumental in helping you, beside God, of course, but any close relations, friends, etc., that helped you get back up on your feet again?
She said that people that were close to her rallied. They pulled her back. She's saying that she belonged to a community, a congregation at the time. She was kind of testing it out, but they came front and center for her. She said, she's saying the word of God gave me hope.
Oh, that's awesome. That's good, because you lived for, so your ultimate exit point, I mean, you died of cancer or something, I can't remember. Was that designed by you, that exit point? Your ultimate transition?
She's asking, when you say exit point, do you mean the time of my death or how I died? What?
I guess both. When, at what age, and the manner of your death? Was that designed before your incarnation by you?
She says that she knew. She always knew in her life that she wouldn't see 70 years old.
Wow. So it must have been then by design, right?
But she says it was not something she became aware of until she crossed over and had the review.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so somebody asked, why do you think you were so underappreciated? And I think you were. You were such a powerhouse. Of course, you were appreciated, but you should have been more appreciated, in my view.
She says one of the things she attributes that to, and this falls into a whole category, a lot of people didn't take disco seriously.
Oh.
She said it was fun and it got people moving, and that's what she wanted. Her everything about her was getting people into physical movement and acting and stepping out of their everyday roles so that they could relax and enjoy themselves. But she's saying people, critics, higher ups in the industry didn't take disco seriously.
Yeah, they probably thought that's a flash of the pan. It's not like Dylan, and his meaningful whatever and things.
Exactly.
But it did have meaning, but just on a different level.
Exactly. And she's talking about Elvis. When Elvis came on, it was the scene. It was completely foreign. Like nobody had really seen a white person, do what Elvis did. Elvis kind of took something that already exists, and she's not trying to take anything away from Elvis, but Elvis kind of took something that already was and just kind of tweaked it and made it its own. She's very proud of the fact that she was in the disco era because disco wasn't like anything else.
That's true.
It was his own entity.
Yeah, you were the queen of disco. So,
yeah.
Selena, oh my God, Lucas has such a big crush on Selena, but she really, I think, respected you and was very influenced by you. Are you there with her now? And is there anything you want to say about her?
Donna is saying that she has taken it on as her mission to guide and kind of teach up and coming musicians.
I was going to ask you that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Up and coming musicians and singers. And she says, you can be sure that Selena is still singing and she's still doing what it is that she was born to do, this gift in here. And it's not like everybody hangs out every single day with everybody.
Of course not. Yeah.
I see her here and there, but it's not, if I want to see her, I think of her, and that there it becomes. But yeah.
Do y'all ever jam together? You and Whitney and maybe Michael Jackson, Selena, Elvis?
She's very tight with Whitney.
Oh, good. Okay.
Very tight. Yep.
Oh, good. Okay. So y'all sing together sometimes?
She said, well, of course we do. She says what's beautiful is the melodies, the harmonies, she says, when everybody gets together. And also she brought up the name Fats Domino.
Oh, Fats Domino. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Blues guy. That's great. Yeah. Miles Davis and so many greats. Are you with Michael? Do you ever hang out with Michael Jackson?
She says, no, not so much.
Okay. All right. That's fine. You can't hang out with everybody. Mm-hmm. Let me see here from a blog member. One thing I've always wanted to know is if the music from that era, the 60s, 70s, mostly the 70s, have any type of special frequency to them because of how much they are used today in movies, commercials, etc., and have been sampled for music. Or was everyone just high making good music? It's funny.
She says there was a lot of chemical introduction to this music, and she's saying, nightclubs everywhere were supplying drugs like they were.
Oh my God, you would smell poppers, amyl nitrate all the time in the discos. Yeah.
So as far as frequencies, she's saying what she'll say to that is this music helped raise the personal frequency of individuals.
Oh, I believe that.
And it would have done it without the chemical M&Ms.
Oh, yeah, of course. Absolutely. Okay. Hi, love Donna since 1976. I would ask Donna Summer what your thoughts were when you died. Was it a shock? Love you, Donna. Oh. So yeah, what was your transition like?
She's saying it's nothing, it wasn't anything like I thought, being religious of sorts. And she said, she says, there weren't pearly gates.
Oh, you're kidding me. Because I want to chip off some and make little necklaces and bracelets.
It didn't quite work that way. She said she likens it to you live here and then you move over here. You go to bed here and you wake up here. She's reiterating what Erik has said to us. There's a continuation, a continuity. It's not like she said it was a big, massive change.
Okay, was your death peaceful or was it painful? Was it okay?
She's saying that she was what you would call unconscious at the time that she actually crossed over.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's good. All right. So I'm going to ask you the usual questions I ask you celebrities. What was your spiritual mission in your life as Donna Summer?
I believe wholeheartedly that my spiritual mission was to free people from their inhibitions, to let people see that it was okay to be exactly who they were as they were.
That is huge. Were you here, so you were here to teach that. Were you here to learn anything? And if so, what? I guess we all are here to learn something. I think I'm in the remedial class though, but go ahead.
She's, you know what? She's attributing her depth of love, how deeply she loved, and she's attributing that to her 4 children.
Oh, I know. Children make you better people, and they will slap the ego out of your ass so quick and make you humble.
For real.
Bring you to your knees. But yeah, that's so true. Mm-hmm. All right, so you were here to learn the depths of love that you can reach?
Unconditional love.
Yes, yeah. Do you have any messages for them?
I'm so incredibly excited for how animated and fun and playful and curious my children are.
Oh, that's so awesome. That's a good message for them. Mm-hmm. I hope they see this.
She said that the most important thing that she would like to have left be the legacy was that she knew how to have fun.
Yeah. And that's part of, being your true self and lowering your inhibitions and all the boundaries that society and other people place on you, the straitjackets they place on you that keep you from having fun. So
she's saying that people need to understand that if this world is going to change, people need to walk in the truth of who they are. They can't walk in the truth of who they are until they understand and are aware of what their personal truth is.
Yeah, people need to lighten up. People are so sensitive about other people's opinions, especially mine, I guess. They just are such haters sometimes. And, to me, that's just fear-based, And so that does not allow them to be them. And it certainly is them saying, I'm not allowed to be me. So, it's irritating. Annoying. Go away, haters. Go away. Evolve and come back later, Anyway, if you guys are going to give me crap, I don't have a place for you in my life. I got enough going on. But I love you. But bye-bye. All right, do you have any, I feel like you accomplished what you were here to learn and teach then, huh?
She sits very proud and very accomplished. And listen, I don't know if this is her knowing that she wasn't going to make 70 years old, but was completely at peace with the end. Like,
oh, good.
She knew.
Oh, that's good. Do you have any regrets in your life as Donna Summer?
She says everyone has regrets, she
Of
says.
course.
And one of the things I regret was, trusting people with my career early on.
Oh, yeah. There's sharks out there.
I should have taken more of an initiative to stand up for myself. I was one of the forerunners when it came to women in music, especially Black women in music.
Yeah. And, there's a lot of greedy people out there in that business that will just take everything, fleece you basically. So, but you did eventually stand firm and take control. I mean, you were young at first. Of course, you got to give yourself a little leeway, right? Don't be so hard on yourself, Donna. I'm kidding. No, I'm not, actually. Okay. Do you have any advice for the up and coming singers? Whether they're women, men, Black, Caucasian, Hispanic?
The first piece of advice she would give is be educated on what it takes to run a business. Because while you're a creative, you are running a business. If you don't understand what those numbers mean and what those columns mean, that means you're going to have somebody come in and do it for you, which is fine, she's saying, but know what you're looking at. So get educated.
Right, absolutely. That's very smart. Okay, because a lot of, especially country western singers, seem like they just get broke. I don't know, poor Willie. Anyway. All right, can you tell us about another life that most influenced your life? It could be future or past. That most influenced your life as Donna Summer?
She's showing me a life when she was in the Roman times. She was a male, and she's saying that one of the charges in that life for her was where she would take people and hold them prisoner. People who were deemed by human powers not to be worthy. And she's saying we would liken it to like a prison guard.
Oh, like, were they real criminals, or were they people who didn't believe in the same religion, or
they were people that went against the belief system of the leadership.
Oh God. Oh.
So in other words, she was somebody that held people prisoner for being different. And so she came in this life very different and would have to just remedy and rectify that in this life.
Oh, so what happened in that life? Were you happy with that job? Or what?
She says it wasn't a matter of being happy with the job. She says it was just what you did. She said she ultimately died very young, according to today's standards. She was in her early 30s in that life.
That's pretty young.
And she's saying there was some sort of, we would call it an influenza or a bacteria that took over her body.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Can you share anything new about you that at least most people don't know about? Like Madame Curie, she had this thing where it was a secret that she had this little teddy bear sewn to the inside of her skirt, whatever. Mm-hmm. So is there anything fun? It doesn't have to be fun, but.
She's saying that something that people really didn't know is that she.
Does she what?
She was a seer. She could see things.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That is so cool. Did you use that in your business, in your family life, in anything? Or did you squelch it? And, people don't know about that one.
She said we didn't call it anything. She said her grandmother was also like that too, but because of religious beliefs, it didn't get talked about. She said early on in her career, she could have used it a little bit more than she did.
Yeah, I bet. All right. Do you have any messages for anybody or humanity as a whole?
She's saying everyone has a song in them. Everyone has a beautiful melody in them. Everyone matters and has something to sing about. She said, no matter whether you think you can sing or you can't, go in the shower if you need to. Everybody should sing every single day.
I love singing. I wish I had a wonderful voice. I really do, but I love it. And I'm going to come back with a great voice in my next lifetime. And I want to be able to play mad guitar, electric guitar. But
there you go.
I've tried to learn it now, recently. I mean, not recently, but in my life, it did not work out. Erik tried to teach me. It's like, oh, God, she's hopeless. Erik.
She says I played guitar.
Who?
Donna.
Oh, really? Wow. Did you play any other instrument like piano or?
She played piano and guitar.
That's so cool. Where did you live? Didn't you live in Europe for a while?
I did, she says. I did.
Yeah.
She got her eyes got real big. I did. In fact, that's where I met my first husband.
Oh, awesome. All right. Well, Erik, is there any song of hers that you that is your favorite?
I'm having a hard time. Erik is saying he wasn't a big fan of disco. No offense, he says.
Of course not.
Yeah, I'm not getting a song out of him.
Okay, that's fine. Well, do you want to ask, is there any question you want to ask Donna?
He says that he's really intrigued with how poised she is and how together she is.
Yeah.
He's reiterating what I said earlier, her grace and her poise, and he's saying that she is somebody that he will definitely stay connected to.
Good. Oh, I'm going to send you the YouTube of her special, Veronica. You're going to love it. Maybe you already saw it, but it's so cool. Veronica, do you have any other questions for her?
No, I think she's awesome, and I think what she did for the disco era and the forward movement for women in the in the industry. Yeah. Take away race, ethnicity. As women, we can all understand the challenges that we fight still to this day.
Oh yeah.
I count her as a forerunner in that.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome. Honored to know you. Honored to talk to you, Donna. I really appreciate everything you've given to the world and still continue to give. So thank you so much for being part of this interview.
She does this.
Oh, thank you, darling. And thank you, Veronica. I love you. You guys check her out at veronicadrake.com. But gonna put it right here. She will teach you all sorts of stuff about the spiritual arts. And it's so freaking reasonably priced. It's like crazy. You should charge more. Okay.
And y'all wouldn't let me get away from doing readings, so I'm back.
I know. People want more. They want more of Miss V. More of Miss V. No, you can't retire, Miss V. All right, and thank you so much, and thank you, Erik. I love you very much.
I love you, Mom. I'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.